What's up, you cosmic star sluts, you metaphysical messes, our bitches from the beyond? We are back with yet another backlogged episode. We know the podcast has been spiritually constipated lately, but do not worry, the karmic, colonic has kicked in and it is all coming out now. Here's the good news. This is the last one from the archives. No more retro content. From here on out, we're getting everything fresh off the press, current timeline only. All right. This episode in particular was recorded right after the 2025 New Year. We were in the thick of the Los Angeles fires at this point, which we do talk about. But there's plenty of other priceless insights here for you. Unsolicited wisdom we throw your way. Thank you for being here, sticking with us. Let's flush away all the old now and keep it regular from here on out.
Have you ever been victimized by New Age spirituality?
We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting.
You're gonna want to listen up.
I'm Megan, an intuitive life coach and Reiki master.
I'm Ryan, a professional astrologer, and we want to show you what spirituality is by talking about what it is not.
Con artist.
Yes.
Snake oil salesman.
There are so many susceptible people out there.
And then they're tainted. They're ruined. They don't want to come back to spirituality.
We still have a lot to learn, and we will humble ourselves and learn, I think, every freaking day. This is Clairannoyance,
a podcast of spiritual interference. You know what I think about?
What do you think about?
A few times a week. That is it's the most random. It means something. You were having a bad day one time, and I was like, hey, do you want to see my boobs?
Oh, God.
You were like, no, thank you. You are the first. I mean, not that I'm out here like trying to flash my hooters to everybody who has a bad day, but like I have been known if we're close, especially, obviously, you're not into what I'm serving, and you're the first
I can
man
recognize
and gay
and
man.
Though.
Yeah, you were the first man and also first gay man who was like, no, thank you. And I think about that. It was so polite and it made me laugh so hard, and I think about that often.
That's so interesting. It reminds me too, like, I feel like it probably threw me off of my bad day as well. Like it reminds me of like when you're, I don't know, what's the thing? Like when you're cramping one part of your body, you like hit another part of your body to throw your body off and be like, see, now that part hurts. It's not the cramp you thought. I feel like that's what you did.
Yeah. Welcome to Serendipity sessions.
Yeah, true Serendipity sessions. I feel like sometimes we do Serendipity sessions lately, and then I end up not calling them Serendipity sessions because we actually had like pre-planned things to talk about. But this time we don't. We really don't. I could have thought about it, but we are fresh off of the LA wildfires.
Fresh off. They're fresh off. Like
no,
the road behind
still.
You is burning. It is January 9th, and you are the road like. I'm like, hey, you good? And he's like, yeah, well, everything above Sunset is evacuating. Okay, well, how far are you from Sunset? 1 block. Great.
Yeah, I'm a block. So my both of my roommates evacuated. I just stayed here. I was like, I'll figure it out.
Listen, what we don't need to be having though is like a Lieutenant Dan moment when he's in the sea, so you don't need to be doing that with fire. Okay, when Lieutenant Dan is in the hurricane, he's on top of the mast.
No, I wouldn't be stupid. Like if it spread enough where I got moved into the evacuation zone and it came down this block here, I would have left for sure. I wouldn't have. I was thinking about it because the cars were crazy. Like everything was gridlocked, so I wouldn't have even bothered with my car. I would have just probably walked to my brother's because he would have been. He's like a mile, a little over that away. I would have just walked there. No way I would have gone that way.
Scary.
I know.
I mean, natural disasters. I'll take a hurricane any day because you have time. You know what's coming. Like a tornado or a fire. Fires are so scary. I mean, to be burned alive, no,
Dude.
Thank you.
I know, right? It's like insane. I mean, like I think hurricanes are also terrifying, though. To be frank, but that's because I've never been in them. Wildfires at this point, I'm very used to them happening, but this was like on another level. Like I think it was something like like 3 times bigger than the Chicago fire, the Great Chicago Fire or whatever. It's devastating, like what has happened here. It's like absolutely, I actually can't wrap my mind around it. I have a couple of friends who lost their homes, like so I'm like I've kind of seen that our power went out. Even when our power wasn't out, our internet was out like a fuck ton. So it's been an interesting last couple of days.
Is there anything in the astrology to indicate that would happen?
Yeah. Oddly, yeah. And like also that this could foreshadow much more similar things in anywhere. Is that there's a massive shift happening, like a long-term shift happening to air and fire signs. So, and the North Node, like fate, is at 0 degrees of Aries right now. It in 2 days will switch to Pisces, which is sort of like the idea then of like, okay, yay, rains are going to come, water will like help, or this problem will be soothed. Today, like in a couple hours, the winds are going to get fucking crazy again. So half of me is like, cool, is another thing going to ignite all of a sudden again? Like, because the Hollywood Hills one that happened yesterday was like out of fucking nowhere. So it's like, I don't know. It could still happen in the next couple days, but then I think it'll calm down by like January 12th for sure. But regardless of that, the North Node is just like it's wrapping up an 18-month transit through Aries. The first sign, the fire sign, is the initial spark, right? So like there's been some fucking sparks happening here. And that's all it is like just the winds have been nuts, and so it pushes the trees against the power lines, and then they're all sparking off. I'm saying that to let everybody know it's not some fucking conspiracy theory. Have you seen all the bullshit like online? People are insane, dude. I mean, we already know this, but like I am worried for humanity at this stage.
I saw this meme that was like, I was always convinced growing up that adults weren't smart, but now that I'm here, it's quite concerning. Same.
Literally, no, truly. I'm like when the first big fire was happening, the one that pretty much everybody lost their homes in, immediately, and still to today, like people are saying it's a big cover up to hide all of the Hollywood elites criminal activities related to Diddy, and they're getting rid of the tunnels that they transport all the kids in right now. I'm like, then how do you explain the other fires that broke out where Diddy is not living at all, first of all? And also, like, everybody was worried about his Miami estate, not here, but whatever. But also, what the? Think about this for a second. Underground tunnels. The fire is on top of the land, so it's not gonna. It needs air to. It's not gonna be in a fucking tunnel. No, if there are tunnels, they're not destroyed. You dumbasses. Like
that's so true. I did hear along before all this stuff about P Diddy. Obviously came out that like Hollywood. There was a tunnel. There was like a Starbucks underneath there, and that's how they would travel. And it was like, but it was more of it was more of the Starbucks employee giving his.
It's like it's fucking but it's insane. Like there are tunnels. Like Lana Del Rey, I think, has a song or an album titled that or something. Even like there's a tunnel underneath Ocean Boulevard. Yeah, there are tunnels here. They are like storm drains and homeless camps. Like that's what's happening here. They're not connecting to homes. And if there are tunnels, the fire wouldn't last. But B, if there are tunnels in the Pacific Palisades of all places, I just don't see it. Now that it's been leveled, you'd see the tunnel access all over. The fire wouldn't get rid of tunnels. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
I was just talking with one of my friends, Shayna, and she was like, a few things. One, climate change, but then also Earth goes in cycles. And ever since the Ice Age, we have been in a melting period, which has been obviously going on for a while. And has human beings sped this up? Yes. And there's just a lack of an ability for people to think critically. So fires in LA, in the desert, LA probably wasn't meant to be as inhabited as it is. And so fires are nature's way of clearing, not to say that it's like anyone deserves by any means, but that's how like nature makes way. Storms, it levels things out, and it does. Nature will always win. human beings are not smarter than nature.
Hmm. And
So there's that.
yeah, and like they like pre-burn things all the time as
Yeah.
well because it's good for new growth even. Like it's there I'm not saying any of this like should happen or whatever, but like it's fucking planet Earth. Like things happen, dude. Like and it's not like this is happening all the time. We have wildfires every year. There's a wildfire season, but that's in very specific remote places where people don't live. This was some crazy shit due to like historic level winds, like and it pushing trees against power lines. It's causing all these sparks. Then the winds carry the embers all fucking over the place. You can't contain it.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's just insane. People are fucking nuts lately.
So you don't think HARP had anything to do with this?
Who?
HARP is like it's this, I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's like in Alaska. This play it's a weather it's where they modify the weather essentially. The
Oh,
weather, which
oh
has
yeah.
been proven to be true. They do cloud seed, but people get like little bits of knowledge, little bits of truth, and then go forth. And that's why in Dubai, I think it was this past summer or the summer before, there was like they needed rain, so they had altered the weather a bit there. But then none of the buildings, none of the structures, none of the palaces could sustain, because you can't mess with Mother Nature and then try and take it back. So it was water everywhere, like pouring through the bars. So it was like,
Mhm.
well, that's fun. This is why the aliens don't want to talk to us.
Dude, I know.
I got to stop
Yeah.
saying that in public though, because people take that statement. I'll be like, just like talking
Oh
shit,
God.
and then they're like, look, I'm like, oh no, this was not an invitation for you to discuss this with me. This was a joke that you didn't recognize.
This was not an invitation. Did you ever see the movie Prometheus?
No.
It's related to the Alien like movie franchise, but it's its own entity. Like you didn't know it was an alien movie until literally like the last 2 minutes maybe of that
Mhm.
movie. The rest of it is like a very wondrous movie, and they're like looking for the genesis of life or whatever, and they find this planet with like ancient aliens essentially. And I saw this TikTok of this chick like taking it so seriously and relating it to the drones and being like, they were telling us like, see, like the watch Prometheus, like this movie is exactly what's happening. And it's like, but she was taking it literally. Like she was like, this is actually the story of everything. And like we didn't listen when the movie came out. I'm like, it's a fucking movie, lady. Like people are insane. Like this is not real. Literally.
That is so funny. I watched Waterworld the other day, and I hadn't seen it in forever with Kevin Costner or whatever his name was. And I was like, I used to think this movie was so good when I was a kid. And I was like, this is pure garbage. But I love Kevin Costner. Robin Hood's still an OG movie. You can't get better than Robin Hood. I mean, Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, perfection.
Uh, I would say Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Also a good one. I loved both of them, but there was depends on what dramatic. Anything with Morgan Freeman, though, that had Morgan. Morgan ain't going to just sign on to a project willy-nilly.
Yeah. God, I
Yeah.
haven't thought about Waterworld in forever. That's like such a
I came in the middle of the movie too, and like I forgot he had gills and was like swimming. I was like, why is he not breathe? Like, how is he not breathing? Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I was like, no thanks.
uh-huh. 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 I know I saved like some other like conspiracy theory things that I've seen lately that I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember. Where'd my phone go? Oh, one of them though was the fucking all the people when Kamala had to certify the election results, and everybody kept thinking that something big was going to happen and that Trump
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
going to be certified, and there were so many fucking theories. I saved a bunch of those videos because I was contemplating like doing a little video, like just like mashing up everybody's conspiracies about it and being like, y'all are fucking stupid. Um, and then it was certified without a single challenge. They thought massive, crazy secrets were going to be unleashed. And by they this time, I mean the blue anon, not the QAnon.
I
This is the fucking left
know.
side, which is embarrassing. Embarrassing, people, that you thought there was any fucking way. And now that it got certified, the goalpost got moved. And they're like, but it's still not inauguration day. Don't give up hope. Something about what Kamala said about how she's proud she certified the election results, in the way that she said it, her tone, it just lets me know that there's still hope. And I'm like, you all need to fucking face reality. Nothing is going to change about any of the situation
No.
until you accept the reality you live in right now.
They were saying something about AOC too, and then I forget who else. And I was like, whatever. Did you know that your governor, Gavin Newsom, what's his name? Let me see. He has a podcast with Marshall. I forget the name of. Let me see. Podcast. This dude is so hilarious with Marshawn Lynch.
Oh.
This is on a bingo card I didn't even know. Like, this dude is so hilarious. This football player who's retired. He will, like, the stuff that he says is so outlandish. Before he would play, he would take like 2 shots of like Hennessy and like go out on the field. And they have a podcast together. And it's something I didn't know I needed until I like I want to dedicate time to listening to this, simply because
Do it.
not because of Gavin Newsom, but the other guy. I can never remember his full name, but he's hilarious. I'm like, more of that. I would like to see more collaborations of that in the end of days.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. You should all listen to that. I'll link it below, everybody.
So do you have any like New Year's, anything you're going to be like New Year's, not intentions, resolutions? Like what's your game plan here? What are we doing?
Dude, well, there's some things I feel like I can't say at the moment because I'm on the train a little bit of like, don't tell people about your plans. Like, just try and figure out how to make this happen first, and then tell someone. So I've already told you a little heads up on one of those ideas before we hit record here.
And I'm all for it. Yeah.
I know. I'm like really, it's oddly really intriguing me. I won't go down that path because I can't. It's just vague.
I know
right now.
this is such a cock
can't
tease.
talk
It's
about
like
it.
just the tip.
I know. Sorry, guys.
Just the tip.
Yeah. Other than that, do you know like I have more of a feeling like of something happening, and it's like it's just really uncomfortable. Of like, did you see The Substance? It's the only way I can relate it. It's not this, but it's the only way I can relate it. You didn't see The Substance?
The Substance? No.
The movie.
No.
Demi Moore.
I still don't even have a TV hooked up in my apartment. I'm just out here like raw dogging life. I mean, like I got a new phone, I got a computer, but I spend a lot of time just having dance parties in my apartment. People are like, "Why are you late?" I'm like, it's truly embarrassing. You're not going to believe it, or maybe you are.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm late to our Zoom meeting, which takes 0 seconds. I apologize. But the beat was so good. But anyway, no, I've not seen anything.
Well, it's just anybody who's seen it. I think a lot of people have, so people will probably relate. And she takes a substance, and she's becoming an older actress, and literally, it like she falls on the ground, and like out of her spine, it opens up, and a young her comes out, and then there's 2 of them, and they have to like keep switching, like when
Very
one
stressful.
is on and when the other's off, and they have to keep taking the medicine to like sustain each other, essentially. Long story. Anyway, but that's actually what I feel like is happening to me right now. I feel like I'm being the more of the visual that I get is that like I have a zipper running down me, and I feel like a different me is like unzipping the current me right now and pushing itself out. It feels a little bit like a rebirth, but it doesn't feel like it's not like I'm shedding layers, you know, like it doesn't feel like a snake shedding its skin feeling, like that's more like fluid and natural or something. It feels like this is actually going to happen like fairly fast here. Like
I would say a zipper. Yeah. I mean,
a big change.
Nothing about that seems relaxing or
no, it doesn't. It really
Yeah.
feels like something is like popping out of me right now. It's like very strange. I feel like a energetically different person, which is nice because I've had a good mindset amidst some like stupid shit lately. But I feel like I'm in the wrong body. I almost feel like I relate to trans people at this point in that sense. That I'm like, I'm in the wrong physical vessel for the life experience I need to be having. And something is like a new me is coming out and it's gonna physically
Like, you need to like get a haircut and a spray tan, make it like do something
no,
different. Like,
no,
make
that's
yourself feel a little bit better.
no, oh my God, no. That's not even what I mean. Like,
I
I
know
mean,
that, but like, but just in the meantime, like, just kind of, if your body's feeling off, like, let's just like get a little
yeah,
razzle dazzle to it, during this time,
no,
make
for
it a
sure.
little more
Yeah, like
comfortable. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, see it out like nicely or whatever. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not like unzipping myself into something else, but that's just like the feeling I get psychically, I guess. And
Hmm.
I feel like how I interact with my physical environments, where I insert myself in physical environments is changing.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's just happening, which is good because I feel like I've been very like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, and I stagnant in that sense too. And now I just feel like something is
Yeah.
happening regardless. And I'm like, thank God, at least there's something moving right now.
Yeah.
And I'm trusting it. What about you?
Good.
I don't have New Year's resolutions otherwise, but I will say I did put in like since I've had this little revelation about unzipping myself or whatever, I did put in I don't not New Year's resolutions, but like affirmations almost of like
Mm.
basically, I guess. I don't even know how to explain it as that, but things I want to be more energetically, I guess, this year. And then I
Yeah.
put it into ChatGPT and was like, give me a photo to put as my wallpaper on my phone. And it came up with this really like nice like
Ooh,
photo. Isn't that kind of
yeah.
cool? I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, look at it's kind of like see something bursting out of it too. I don't even think that that was
It's
like
like
in my
watercolor.
what
Yeah.
I gave it. It's just really interesting. Yeah, so I don't know. That I recommend that to anybody if you're like trying to, vision board or if you like that shit. Put a bunch of shit into Chat GPT and be like, here's all these things I'm trying to aspire to or live up to and give me an image that encapsulates all that.
Hook a brother up.
Yeah. What about
Help
you?
me out. So I have decided one, I am, so this is what I'm recommending to my clients and myself. Pick a word, a feeling, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We've heard all this throughout the years, but so pick a word throughout the year and anything that you're trying to bring in or do, you need to write down. You need to see it. You need to so whatever you're trying to do, write it down and have it somewhere where you can see it daily. Because otherwise, if it's not written down, it's not going to get done because your brain is a giant garbage can. Then I was trying to figure out like what kind of process I wanted to take myself down this year and then also my clients. And I loved this idea. So what we're all going to do, and you can comment on our Instagram, you can email us, but you are going to create an alter ego. Now, this alter ego is you, but it is the best version of you. And you're going to have this alter ego pick a name. Okay. So my word for the year is lucky. And then also my alter ego's name is Lucky because Lucky Lund, please. I mean, I love.
Love.
I know. I was literally like, I might. I had a friend who changed her name when she turned 40 from Patricia to Healy, and I was like, I get it now. Like you wait, use when you're at this spot. I was like, maybe I start going by Lucky. I don't know. But anyway, so this alter ego of yours, this is the best version of you. Okay? So this is the version of you who handles shit like a boss, both emotionally and feelings and goals. This is the best version of you. Notice I didn't say perfect. It is the best version of you. So, how we use this avatar, so to speak, is when we are interacting or when we find something, we're triggered, we're in a situation where it's requiring us to be brave or anything. What would Lucky do? What would your alter ego do? Now, why this is brilliant? Because what happens is comparison is usually a thief joy, but not in this case, because you are
Right.
comparing yourself then to the best version of you. So the brain automatically zooms out, has this comparison point that you
Yeah.
have thought about, and then you're able to not pop off at the mouth, not make that dumb decision, not text your ex, you're able to actually reroute your brain, your life, your neural pathways, your energy, your feelings, whatever you want. Because if you want to be whoever you want to be, the person you are right now is not it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be a track star, if you want to be a rapper, if you even want to just save an extra, 10,000 a year, then what you're doing now ain't gonna cut it. So, but I love this thought process because it puts anything that we want to do in a tangible way that it's like, okay, we're naturally going to compare ourselves to people, places, and things. Why not compare ourselves to the best version of ourselves? And then you know what you intuitively will know what you need to do in that moment when you're referencing your alter ego.
I like that a lot, and I also like the habit building of shifting focus away from comparing yourself to other things outside of you that aren't in your control. It's what a better way to default to compare to something like that and get out of the habit of thinking, what would they do? And just what would I do? So you're saying this person zipping out of me right now is my alter ego that I need to name now.
I was literally as you were saying that, and we have not even talked about this. Okay,
I know. Serendipity.
I know. So when you were saying this, I was like, oh my God, how perfect. So for me, and also, but it can't be like Ryan 2.0 or Maggie. It's got to be something totally different and a name that you like. Like it has to be a name that you like. So when you say it, you're like, yeah, like when I say Lucky, I'm like, yeah, Lucky, it's something that I enjoy it. It's fun. It's silly. And that is, and that's the energy that we want to then zoom towards that. So pick your name for your alter ego and think about it for a minute. Write it down. What characteristics does your alter ego, the best version of yourself, embody? And here's the thing. This motherfucker already exists, people. We just have to step into that reality. But how many times have you heard spiritual gurus be like, just decide who you want to be and step into that reality?
Yeah.
There was no framework for it. Now, this is the foundational framework of stepping into that reality of the person that you want to be.
Dig it. I dig it. I think this is a great idea, and everybody should try this.
Yeah, so
why not? I need to
let
come
us
up with a
know
name.
what your alter ego is. Yeah, so I'm Lucky.
Yeah. I'm thinking Bernard, but I'll figure it out. I'm kidding. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, and I'll report back on another episode. Who am I?
What's up? It's me, Bernie. No, Bernard would be the full
Bernard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
Mr. Bernard to you.
Yes.
So. Could you imagine?
Good one. I like that though. Yeah, this is good. Share any other tips you guys have. We would happily share them on a upcoming podcast if you want to reach out and let us know what you're doing for New Year's, what your resolutions are, if you have any tips.
Yeah, and then also what
no, I was gonna say I think it's funny. Well, are you going on the New Year's thing? Are you continuing? Keep going.
Yeah, I don't really, goals and stuff. I mean, I'm already a pretty highly motivated person. So that, the new year, new me stuff. I will say though, I've had it with people because and I didn't have it, but I was like, I've delved into the science behind habits, and I'm about to launch my first, I don't want to call it a habit challenge. I don't know what it is, but I was so sick of really brilliant people, truly. And they would have their lives together in one arena, like work or whatever. But whether it be working out or changing their mindset, it was like, why is there this hump with people that they just can't get over it? And I know that my chart, I'm a weirdo and I'm able to kind of do things differently. So I do give grace with that. Well, I had it. So I went and looked into the science behind all this. So I'm launching a habit challenge, but it's a year-long project. So
Cool.
It's and I'm putting the finishing touches on that. So that'll be on my social media. Everything is science-based. That's the beautiful thing. And meant to it's just everything is just meant to keep you a little in check, but it's a year-long endeavor. And I'm excited to get my beta group together. This will be an ongoing project for forever because all of us need to get good habits. Habits, everything you do or don't do is a habit. If you don't floss, that is a habit that you have chosen. If you don't drink water, if you don't make your bed. And so I gotta help the people.
I love it. I love it. I will say, and honestly, I think this is true with any habit building in general. It's like that beginning little stretch of getting into it. It's always the hardest. But I do think that'll be especially difficult at the moment too with Mars retrograde until February 23rd. So if you're starting this, just give yourself some grace
Well,
until
that's
February
why
23rd.
we start off easy. We
Yeah,
start
good.
off easy here, because but yeah, so I've been doing that. So what are some habits that you want to modify? I always think it's a good idea to do a year review to 2024. I don't care when you're listening to this. What has your past year been like? Do you like it? Did it go well for you? What could you have done better? What did you do well? Just
Hmm.
look at that objectively. And then, like everyone needs to pick like a big oh shit moment, a musagi, which is a Japanese principle, where you pick one hard thing a year, and that's your oh shit moment where you're then like, oh my fuck, like that. So, what's your musagi? Typically it's something physical, but it can be really, anything. But people have been giving me these like pansy answers, or they've been giving me something that is like, I'm like, where's the structure behind this? You don't even have a business right now, and you're telling me that you're going to have a seven-figure income. I'm all about that, but what's your fucking business, guys?
Dude, totally. Like that is part of manifestation. You can manifest that business. Part of your manifestation process should include making a fucking plan. Like literally, like it will manifest quicker.
Yes. What is yes? Step one, the business. Okay.
Yeah, like
And I'm not trying to like ever burst anyone's bubble, but that's why I've always called myself a practical energy healer,
yeah.
pragmatic, because we have one foot here on the ground. Because where are we? Earth. Okay. Which is, we've talked so many times how many people in spirituality are dead ass broke unless they're manipulating you to, and sucking your hard earned dollars. Nah. Like there are these two realms can work together, but unless you play the lottery, you have got to put some hustle in that muscle to get what you want. That's the
Yeah.
way of the earth. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Grow up. Take some
Don't be sorry.
accountability and self-feed. Like do something, stop complaining. But like if you're not doing anything, that's the most craziest thing to me. You're going to not do anything and then complain about the status of your life when you haven't been willing to change one thing.
Hmm.
It's nuts.
And you may run into a bunch of dead ends. I could tell you that from personal experience. But just keep pivoting,
Part of the journey
trying.
though. And you know
It
what?
is.
That's
It's
gonna
totally part of the fucking journey.
And what the thing is that how good is that book of yours, your life book, whether you actually write a book or not. But when you get to
Hmm.
the end of your life and you're doing your life review with Archangel Michael, if that tidbit of spirituality is true, and you'll be like, damn, look at that little Skippy. He just kept trying until he hit it. It's like people who are lucky are the ones who didn't give up. They're the ones who
Oh,
kept
totally.
trying and had perspective. I have a dominant belief system that everything is always working out for me. So when my life, and as you know, and we will talk about what happened in my life in 2024 eventually, you think that was a good time? No, but I had a dominant belief system that everything is working out for me. So I had to trust that process as literally everything I knew got
Hmm.
restructured. And I trust the
Yeah.
process,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and myself because I put effort in and I have a good mindset. And the thing is that you can do this too.
Yes.
No,
Yes. Yes.
like
A lot of this interestingly relates. I've already been putting together like some of February's astrology, so I'm not going to actually. This is just a teaser. I'm not going to give anything away, but I already have the theme for February, and it's actually like so good that it could actually be a theme for the year. But we already did our 2025 preview. I could still say it, but it really does apply to a lot in
you
February
can always
specifically. It's
add
how I
more
came up
though.
with it. Yeah, but anyway, it relates to this in a cool way, so I'm very excited to talk about that. But I will avoid getting into that now. Um,
Just full of teases today, filled with just the tips.
Dude, I know, I know, I know for sure.
A little tip here, a little tip there, a little tip everywhere.
That'll
I
be
think
my
we're
alter
gonna.
ego name, Tippy.
Oh, gee.
Tippy, Tippy Marquardt. God,
Mr. Tip to you. Could you-
yeah. I'm Tippy. Oh
Yeah,
God.
we'll see what this year looks like, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm already seeing so many people like kind of have this tower moment where like
Like
everything they
so
knew.
many,
Yeah.
literally so many. I just had a client yesterday that I was like, that I've been working with for years, actually, and something finally happened. She finally took control of a very awful situation in her life and made a big decision. And it was just like, oh my God, like good props to you for like making it through that years long issue.
I mean, yeah.
Like seriously. So like anybody can do that, you know? Honestly, but like if your life is in flames, keep going. All I've actually been like very moved by all the people who lost their homes in these fires. Like so many of them that are like getting interviewed on the news are like obviously devastated and crying and whatever. All of them seem to miraculously also be like, we will rebuild. We will like they just know. I'm like, shit. If that happened to me at this point in life, I would just be like, fuck this, dude. Like, no way. Fuck this. I don't know how they've got this. Like, we will get through this. Even a 91-year-old man, I saw him say that, and I was like,
I
you
think
will
that's
rebuild at this point. Wow.
it speaks to human resolve and like the beauty of the
Hmm.
human spirit that
Hmm.
when
It
you're
does.
faced with something like this, what are your choices? Okay, be a negative. I mean, obviously, totally entitled, but it's like you have two options. You can either sink or you can either swim. You can either be like, all right, this is not fun, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
make the best of it, or you know, the ulterior is to just let it consume you,
Hmm.
which
What it totally does suck. It really does suck. It seems like an easy choice in a moment, and I get it, but nah. Not the
not
move.
for me,
Not the
Doug.
move. Not Tippy says
I
no.
guess
Lucky says no.
I think Tiffy might be
I
happy.
fucking I I think I the only reason I like it is because it immediately brightens the mood a little bit. So could use that for sure. For sure.
110%. 110%. We're in, if you listen to the 2025 preview, we're definitely in for some interesting times.
This is such a year. Such a year. It's such a year. And I also like one thing that's actually really stuck out with me too is I've seen so many people kind of say like 2025 is off to a fucking gnarly start already. Like all these things have been already happening. Like what's wrong with 2025? I am I encourage people to measure time as you will, especially if you have a goal, set a limit on that, give it a time frame, but even like and reflect on 2024. Why not? Right? Like go for it. But don't put too much fucking stock in 2025. Like it doesn't in the grand scheme of things, it's just a calendar. Like it's just a fucking way that we've measured life events. But like fires aren't starting at the top of 2025 because 2025 is going to be a bad year. It's like it just
Yeah.
is what it is. Time is just fluidly moving along. So allow that to be the case because I think it takes you out of this like the bad side of a time limit where you feel under pressure and like you're missing
Yeah.
deadlines too much or whatever. You don't want to miss deadlines too much, obviously. So put your own time limit on something, but kind of in a bit like fuck the 2025. That doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't mean shit. You know,
No.
sure, numerologically, we could look into it. I could explain it astrologically, 2025 cycles around the sun, you know, like whatever. But who the fuck cares? Like it just doesn't matter.
hmm Well, and why are you gonna program a whole year in your mind for negativity?
And it doesn't work that way. Like if
Yeah.
2024 sucked for you, it doesn't mean oop, now it's 2025, new year, new me. Like that actually it doesn't happen. It's all fucking fluid. It's just it was just a period in your life, a little mini era that maybe sucked or was really good or whatever, but it's all ebbing and flowing and meshing together. So like just like don't put you don't need to put these arbitrary
And also
constraints
get
around
out of
things.
every good, bad, like stop
Yeah.
labeling things like that. Like they're experiences, like
Yes.
everything is an experience. And so when you label things good or it's just everything, the human brain wants to put everything in a nice little box. Pew, pew, pew. Pack it up, package it. It does not work that way though.
No. I mean, put it on you could maybe do your own little boxes. Like, does it make sense for you if it's helping you achieve something? But like, don't feel constrained to these larger societal 2025, like goalposts and time frames. Like it's just what it is to make a society work. Like that's all. But like you don't exist within that. Time isn't real. We literally scientifically know this.
Yeah, but like pick something to. Oh, what?
Oh no, I was gonna say really quick because I totally forgot about this. I'll link it below. But there's this woman on TikTok. I think she got a YouTube channel too. We don't know if TikTok's gonna be around by the time this episode comes out. But her name is Pop Culture Scientist. I don't know what her real name is, but she's a legit physicist, and she breaks down a lot of really cool pop culture things, like science movies, like the science of Interstellar and shit like that. But then also has been amazing with conspiracy theories. Like she's kind of become a call out creator, and like people talking about the plasmoids and shit. And she's like, you guys. She broke it down and was like, plasmoids, as you are all discussing them, and the public now thinks of a fucking plasmoid, it came from like a Dungeons and Dragon game. Like that's the definition of plasmoid as we are talking about it. Plasmoid, scientifically, astrophysically, is a whole different beast. Like it's not the way these conspiracy theorists online have run with it. As we talked about before too, with like the starseed shit, all this stuff came from science fiction. Like a lot of our stupid conspiracy theories is science fiction. So anyway, I just think she's been a really cool person because she's fucking intelligent as fuck, and also talks about really fun topics, like timely, good, interesting topics. So I'll link her below.
I've never even heard of what plasmoids are, so I'm kind of
well, the little orbs that are accompanying the drones. That's what everybody's talking about. And plasmoids, I'm not even getting into it. I'll link that specific video if I can find it again. I'll link that one below so you can go right to it. Anything else? What's up?
No, I mean I think
we're keeping this one a little short.
Yeah, we're keeping it short. You
We
know,
got
like
shit
tell
to
us.
do. We got fires to put out.
Yeah, literal.
And I know that's also been kind of my mindset. I'm dead serious. It's like my life's been ablaze for a long time. So like, okay.
Who's the god of fire? Well, God. No. We don't need to shout that into. We don't need to be shouting that into the abyss.
No. Do your little rain dances, everybody.
Yeah, pray for rain. Pray, like you put all the good vibes, prayers out there, but then also then back it up with action. Action, my people. That is what is going to get you, or you're just going to be the same person, same place, same everything. And life will move you along. But let me tell you from personal experience, you do not want life to move you along on how it's operating. I mean,
no, that's like
that's a no lube situation right there.
Yeah, that is not. That's a forced movement. It doesn't feel super comfy. You want to feel a little in control of like your.
That was such a gentle way to say that. Not very comfy.
Like, really, it can suck. But I will say, I think in general, again, astrologically, movement is going to be easier to pull off. The amount of air and fire coming in great harmony with each other is really excellent. We've been in heavy earth and water, very slower elements. So things can happen quicker, and you'll probably be a little more invigorated to do what you need to do.
Invigorated. Let's get it. Let's see what 2025 has to bring. Let's see what I wanted to call you Pepe for a minute. Let's see what Pepe.
We'll land on something. I don't know if it's gonna be Tippy. We'll figure it out. Let me think about this. I haven't had time to marinate on this. I don't know if I want to be Tippy. Let me think about it.
Tippy, just the tip.
I'm gonna title this like premiering Lucky and Tippy, like Jesus, like new segment. I can't. All right, everybody.
Love you
so much.
Toodaloo.